Setting the stage for digital readiness in Sweden, Episode 1, The birth of a digital correctional strategy. I am Malin and I'm an assistant professor at Örebro University in Sweden. Next to me is my co-author, Dr. Victoria Knight, associate professor at the Montfort University in the UK. We believe that knowledge in action is crucial to transform corrections with digital. In spring 2017, a new CIO entered the senior management team at the Swedish Correctional Agency. Immediately he took the front seat position in driving the digital journey. He labeled it as Krim Tech. As a CIO, you always must strive for the business, in their case IT alignment. But the new CIO also spotted the data-driven organization at the horizon. He saw the need of a new kind of policy, a correctional digital strategy that could guide the digital transformation at the correctional agency, as well as notably contribute to positive outcomes for the Swedish society. He was supported by the Director General. The Director General was careful to point out that the new strategy would be imbued with the human perspective, something that famously characterized Scandinavian corrections. The essence of a human correction is the client's opportunity to change his or her life during the stay at the correctional agency and make a turn from life in crime. They agreed that knowledge was needed and created a collaboration with the university and a researcher with digital readiness as area of expertise. The new CIO couldn't start from a blank page. There was already a proposal in progress. He realized that he needed a new approach to reform the proposal. This wasn't so much about the technology, but more about the people and the need to manage change in a novel and creative way. He appointed a trio of experts as drivers for a change. The trio consists of an experienced correctional officer, the enterprise architect, and the researcher with digital readiness expertise. The message from the CIO was clear: do what is necessary, but don't change the objectives. The trio of experts started with a problem analysis of the proposed strategy. The objectives had a relationship to the correctional agency's strategic objectives, but really only in name and not necessarily in actions or ownership. It would never be useful as a policy document to reach business IT strategic alignment. With that conclusion, they continued the analysis. When they further unpacked the content of the strategy, they came to the insight that in its current form, the proposal was characterized as a traditional IT strategy. Firstly, the use of language was IT-oriented. This technical jargon was difficult to understand and not sufficiently aligned to the correctional agency's core operations. Second, the strategy was a main office product. It was top-down. Thus, it lacked perspectives from the client-facing work, the people actually working on the ground across the agency. Finally, the proposed strategy took the form of a wish list that contained both detailed and organization-wide proposals. In summary, the problem was the lack of context. If the problem was the lack of context, corrections must be the key. A correction where the punishment period and the restriction sets the frame, and the possibility to learn how to organize your life, education and the ability to join treatment programs give the potential for a turn from a life in crime. The essence of the Scandinavian human perspective. They concluded the analysis with the insight that the call from the Director General was missing in the proposed strategy. The trio of experts decided to take a holistic approach in the transformation of the proposed strategy. They used the Swedish justice system as a basis, and with this perspective, they aligned with the Correctional Agency's vision, better out. It required them to shift the perspective towards the client. They decided to use the client's path through the correctional system as the starting point. These two shifts of perspectives allow them to design a strategy that starts in the Scandinavian human perspective. To avoid being locked in technical choices, they decided to use the term digital resource. Digital resource reflect the diversity of technology and simplify the language as well. To succeed, the trio needed a broad factual base. The expert with a background as a correctional officer had a wide network of contacts in the organization. The journey to prisons, parole offices, and custodies began. Through observations and interviews in the work close to the client, they gathered facts about how correctional care is conducted in practice. The researcher continuously read and matched the results from the visits with scientific journals, organizational policies, and national policies. The enterprise architect monitored international and national standards for exchanging data. Gradually, a draft of the client's path grew, a draft that was anchored in both theory and practice. To anchor the new strategy in the organization, a review procedure was used. The trio of experts visited management teams and held dialogues about digital transformation of corrections. The new strategy was continuously refined based on these dialogues. In order to increase the understanding of the digital transformation, they decided to create scenarios. The client Charlie comes to life and the reader gets to follow his or her path through a more digitized correctional system. We now give you the opportunity to follow Charlie to a treatment program. The lack of impulse control is one of the reasons why Charlie has committed crimes. He or she must therefore undergo the treatment program Impulse Control. Impulse Control is a treatment program where a dialogue between client and therapist is combined with training in a digital world. The meeting with a therapist could be in real life or in digital meeting. The digital treatment can be carried out in the living room, in prison, or at home. In this way, the levels of treatment can be controlled to provide the desired effect. The digital treatment generates data that can be used to provide insights into Charlie's progress, but also the impact of the treatment program. Now, let's move to the university and meet Hanne. Hanne is a PhD student. She is researching digital treatment. She has been tasked with evaluating the treatment program Impulse Control. In the analysis, she uses client data from the program. She then matches the results against results from similar evaluations. In the report to the Correctional Agency, she describes a series of quality-enhancing measures to be used with the aim of improving the program. An important evaluative loop for enhancing impact and quality in treatment programs is closed. The scenario with digital treatment and the evaluation study became crucial for the understanding that insights based on analysis of data from daily operations are crucial for meeting future needs. correction agencies has a complex organizational setting with a wide range of stakeholders from different parts of society. The proposed strategy has now, through a novel and creative way of working, been transformed into a digital correctional strategy. This insight changed the business directives for the senior management team, and digitization was firmly placed on their agendas. Our insight that research can be hard to understand have driven us to simplify a new way of designing correctional digital strategies. Victoria and I hope to see you soon again and tell some more episodes from Setting the State for Digital Readiness in Sweden. Thank you for your attention so far.